What is up, my friends? Vaticate here with another Classic World MapleStory discussion. Today I'm actually going to do a general overview of the three Mage classes, compare them to what they were in 2007 or so, and give my thoughts on the matter. These topics will not be in a particular order. I'll start with the ones that affect everything, then move to the individual jobs covering Priest, Fire Poison, then Ice Lightning. I'm not going to switch this character between all three of them and edit that in because it takes an hour waiting period between, and I still have other stuff to record. So just bear with Fire Poison gameplay. So first off, the sort of elephant in the room with the Mage class is the damage. Mage is performing extremely well compared to a lot of other classes, especially in AoE. Look at this damage. Now, this is a little deceptive. I mentioned this in the Fire Poison guide. I'll probably mention it again in the Ice Lightning guide I'll be making once my cooldown comes off. But mages have an extremely high floor and an extremely low ceiling for damage. Mage damage formulas. Well, actually, let's start with weapon attack formulas. People who do physical damage, which is everyone who is not a mage, have the final multiplier in their damage formula as weapon attack. This is the big multiplier that has the biggest impact on your damage output. The more weapon attack you have, the more damage you do by a sizable margin. This is why attack work gloves were so big back in the day. However, Magician in Classic, and just like in the old days, their final multiplier at the end is their skill basic attack. The only way to increase this is to level up skills. Once you're level 80 or so, you will not be adding any more basic attack to Explosion. Elemental Amp, it does increase this damage a decent bit, but that's also the last major damage increase you'll get to Explosion. So this is both good news and bad news. The minimum damage you can do with these skills is quite high. You can rock a level 10 wand and probably still one-shot these things I'm fighting now. Probably two-shot, let's be honest. The bad thing is, as you gain better gear, this won't change much. So, taking meditation off, I'm still hitting over 7k on some of these hits. That's the equivalent of 25 intellect, by the way. See, between 500 and 200 damage I'd say I'm losing by taking off meditation, which is 5 levels worth of intellect. The better showcase of this would be Magic Claw. Hold on. So, level 30s using let me take Elemental Amp off. Level 30s using Magic Claw do about 400 damage per hit. Level 100 using Clean Gear doing 1100, 1200. Barely more than double. Power Strike triples, almost quadruples its damage baseline. You're starting to see where this hurts mages. So your floor is high, you'll be doing crazy damage early on. A few months in, people will start to outpace and outscale you. Anyway, that's enough on that. You won't be doing necessarily bad damage, you just won't be able to God scroll your gear and start doing crazy crap like the assassins will. Now, since I'm already a fire poison, let's talk about fire poison, how it's changed, how it feels, what it looks like. So the two most obvious changes to this class, or in second job, we actually have AoE. Poison Breath is not useless. In fact, I recommend maxing Poison Breath first. Hits 4 enemies, poisons them, the dot is decent. Level 40-ish, you can probably get away with 2 casts of this, followed by letting the dot finish them off. This is great for leveling speed. The hitbox is actually pretty nice. This will probably be the go-to way to level. Fire Poison's Fire Arrow is actually a tad bit stronger than it was back in the day as well. There's no real reason to have it keybound. Explosion has the same base attack as it. This was actually true back in the day as well. Fire Poison can actually do a short hop and then cast Explosion to increase their hitbox. Will this remain alive? I doubt it. Another Fire Poison change. Dots no longer deal percentage health and leave enemies with 1 HP. They very much can finish things off. I like this. I was never a fan of the old school meta of poisoning an entire map, CCing, poisoning an entire map, going back, finishing them all off, going back, finishing them all off, poisoning the whole map, yada yada. It was not fun. And it drains your potions like crazy. I prefer this version, especially since it works on bosses. You can now poison bosses, and it's actually a pretty important bit of your damage output. Elemental composition no longer poisons, which feels weird. I feel like they're probably going to add that back in. Ice Lightning variant also does not freeze, which takes me into my next subject. Ice Lightning changes. Ice Lightning is almost identical to what it was back in the day, with one big caveat in that freeze no longer works as a stun. Lightning now stuns, which is kind of fun. Ice now puts a very powerful snare or slow effect on the target. Same with White Knight and Sniper. I do not like this. I prefer the old version for everyone that isn't a White Knight. This means you will take more damage than you did back in the day. Another change is in third job. Thunder Spear now hits 2 enemies. It still has the god-awfully long animation cast time. It's actually the same as it was back in the day. It rarely hits 2 enemies, though. Its hitbox is very small. But it does also hit like a truck. It's the single hardest hitting single attack in the game right now, aside from Panic. And Panic is actually kind of bugged right now. It's not doing its full damage like the skill description and formula says it should. Other than that, Ice Lightning is just Ice Lightning. In third job, you get an AoE Ice move. In second job, you get an AoE Lightning move. You get Ellie Comp. You do Noticeably less damage than fire poison, but have more control. And finally, the elephant in the room again, Priest. I'm hesitant to talk about Priest because I have a very hard time believing we're going into live with anything remotely like the abomination that is current Priest. Priest lost Holy Symbol. It's now a self-res on long cooldown, dramatically reducing their party play viability. They're still mandatory on bosses. They also lost their Seal Dispel on Dispel. It's now only Darkness, Blindness, Weakness, and Curse. This is very bad for Zakum. Their heal is weaker as well, but I don't feel this is too big of a deal for keeping people alive. At Crimson Balrogs, a single priest was keeping my White Knight very much topped off. He had no issues, and he was attacking in between heal casts, so I don't see heal being terribly bad for bosses. You just won't be overhealing like crazy now. Heal's damage really sucks, though. It's pretty much useless now for grinding. And now, having lost heal as a damaging option, Shining Ray sucks. It's weaker than Holy Arrow on 3 targets. It is way weaker than Fire Poison and Ice Lightning. It has a extremely small hitbox, requiring you to take tons of touch damage. You do not have Elemental Amplification. You do not have Spell Booster. Hit sucks. You will probably keep using Holy Arrow just for the safety. Priest feels bad right now. Second job, however, is pretty decent. Holy Arrow hits decently hard. It hits 3 enemies. Lots of Holy weak enemies to train on. So on. Bless is slightly stronger as well. Gives slightly more accuracy. All in all, people will still make Priest for the support role, but if they don't bring Holy Symbol back, you'll have a hard time filling your Zakum group with Priest for every party. I think that's all I wanted to cover for Magician. My job reset cooldown should be ready. Hope you guys like this. All in all, offensive Magicians are in a good spot. Priest, I don't expect to stay this bad.